grab my hatchet and I'm like ready to split somebody's skull open, throwing knives at telephone poles. This kid is lying. You know, we finally had a separate house and we think, oh, everything's gonna be good now. And we're just sitting around, we're watching like The Office or some shit, and then all of a sudden, all the power goes out. And normally you would think, oh, well, the power in the neighborhood went out. But I went and I looked outside and I'm like, oh, it's just us. That's weird. And then I hear a knock at the door. I'm like, what the fuck's happening? I don't like this. And it's a kid. So I'm like, oh, well, that's harmless enough, right? And he opens up. He's like, hey, did your power go out? And I'm like, yeah, it did. What the hell is going on? Do you know? He's like, this guy, he just goes around and he just goes around and shuts out people's power. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, let's go check. So I'm just like, I just grab my hatchet and I'm like ready to split somebody's skull open. Like, I'm just like, all right, let's go. Because to get to my power, it's in the basement. But to get to the basement, you have to go outside around to like a cellar door outside. There's no entryway to there. And I go in there and it's dark and nobody's in there. I just flip it back on and he's like, oh yeah, this kid, he just runs around. He's like throwing knives at telephone poles and doing weird shit. And like, he just made up like this weird elaborate story. And then like, you know, I was just all fucking freaked out at the time. But then like, I realized, I'm like, this kid is lying. It was him. It was fucking him, and I know it, but I can't prove it. And then he just like, after that, like, it was like he did this so he could like be my hero almost. And then he would just always want to like come over and like talk to me and hang out. And I let him have like a fucking bonfire in my backyard once, why am I rewarding this little fucking psycho?
He just wants a tad, you know.
Yeah.